Question 7, we've got a negatively charged sphere with lots and lots of minuses, and it says, why is it negatively charged? So we know that in solids, only the electrons can move, so therefore electrons have had to move to it. So it must have gained electrons. The next one, we've got a metal sphere, so we've got this has got loads of minuses, and then we get a spark as they all rush across because these hate each other. So there is a potential difference there. There is an electric potential here, an electric potential there. Let's say this is at 0. Let's say that's at 2. Therefore, there will be a potential difference. So these electrons are going to want to jump across, and then they'll go down this wire to the Earth. So describe what happens in the wire connecting sphere N to M when the spark jumps from M to N. So the spark's jumping across. So electrons is the key word. Will move down the wire to the Earth. And if you wanted to, you could put the higher tier bit of there's an electric potential here, electric potential there that's lower, so there's a potential difference, so the electrons get pushed across. Describe the use of earthing in everyday life. The one I will have taught you is if I've got a truck, there's my truck, dodgy truck, but there's a truck. As that moves through the air, there's going to be friction. This is going to rub electrons onto the truck. My fuel truck now, when that goes to the petrol station, I'm either going to get a shock that's going to do some damage to the bloke or lady that's fueling the truck, or it's going to discharge, go to the fuel and blow everybody up. That's a pretty bad thing. So fueling petrol pumps, and we're just going to say something along the lines that electrons will build upon the truck. You've got my model answer there. And then we earth it, we connect a wire to the ground to remove the truck before we fill the petrol pumps. Okay, next one's easy. So we've learned POUT and NIN. Draw the electric field, and we know it's a uniform electric field. Sorry, going to the back one, you could have used paint sprays. Just stick with trucks and fueling. And there we go. So they go from the positive to the negative, 3 lines. Just make sure your middle one's spaced out. So they're spaced out evenly because it's uniform electric field. Okay, next one, we've got some electrostatic charges. I think this is a nice, easy question. And we can see here, we've got some apparatus to look at whether we've got like charges and unlike charges. We've got an acetate strip here. We've got a polythene strip, because we've got 2 of them, and a coulomb meter. So this measures charge in coulombs. So that's Q we use for charge in coulombs. And that can just tell us whether it's got a positive or negative charge. So the crucial idea, this is charging by friction. We're going to say rub the 2 polythenes. They should have the same charge and repel. We can then rub a polythene and an acetate. They should have opposite charge and should attract. And then we just got to turn that into nice sentences. So rub a polythene strip with a cloth. Test the charge with the coulomb meter. So let's assume it's gone minus. All right. And I think it tells us that the polythene is negatively charged. All right. It says that there. So I'm just using the information carefully. That's why those of you that used a highlighter in your exam, you actually did do better than those that didn't, which is interesting. So test the charge with the coulomb meter. It's a minus. Place the strip in the holder. Now let's get a second polythene strip. Do exactly the same. Rub it, charge it by friction. Test its charge on the coulomb meter minus, and then place it next, and they should repel as they have the same charge. Well, we've done 2 polythenes, so now let's do a polythene and an acetate. So we'll leave the polythene in the acetate strip. Now let's rub an acetate strip, test the charge on the coulomb meter, should be positive. Bring this rod next to the polythene and it should attract as the charges are opposite. So it looks like a really tricky question. The science needed is easy. I'd say kind of writing it in decent sentences and putting the argument together is a bit more tricky than that. So I hope this one's helped.